Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start point of sale applications in Oracle Application Express in Oracle Apex. Today is the first lecture of Oracle Apex of point of sale. As this is the first lecture of Oracle Apex, before starting Oracle Apex, we need to discuss some relevant information about point of sale. First of all, let's discuss about what is schema. Schema, it is a container of which database objects are stored and created, like tables, sequence, triggers, DB links, procedure, functions. They are created and stored in schema. It is a container in which the database objects are stored and created. In order that, let's how to create schema in Oracle Apex. Oracle. In Oracle, we create schema, and of the inside schema we create these objects, relevant, related, important objects about our database, and then after that we assign this schema, any schema that we create, and assign to the Oracle Apex, and we can use that schema in a front end and reports. First of all, let's come to SQL plus, and we have to log in as a sysdba and show user. This is the system user, and after that we have to create user POS. By the name of POS, we have many schemas. So how we can see them? Username from DBA underscore users, like as I told you that we have many schema here, username here. One thing you have to know, username and schema, they are the same concept here. When you create a user, that user is also called schema, because in that user you create many database objects and many database important element. Here we create a user, it means that we create a schema. Create user POS underscore online. This POS underscore online schema we will access in Oracle Apex, identified by POS underscore online. So this is the user identified by which user, this, and this is the name of this user, and enter. So what is the identified is wrong, so identified. So the user is created. Now if we connect this user POS underscore online, POS underscore online, we cannot access this user because it doesn't have these create session privileges, some privileges, some rights should have this user. So if you do not, this user doesn't have any capability to connect to this system. So in order to make it capable to log into the system, log in to the PLSQL, log into the Oracle Apex. So you have to give some privileges like create session, create connect resources, DBA. So you have to give some privileges, then you have to make them capable to connect to the system. So let me connect again sysdba, and after that grant only sysdba can grant privilege to the user. Grant create session, connect resource to POS underscore online. Create sessions or user interactions with the database is called sessions. Connect, this is some some privileges of database. Resource, it is also a database privileges. So I have given these create session, connect resource to a POS. Now I can easily connect to this POS underscore online. We can connect to this system, but still it doesn't have some too much privileges. So in order to give some more privileges, we have to give DBA. DBA privileges is important because sometimes we need to access some database, what we call database elements such as dbms underscore packages, functions. So we cannot access those packages, functions, system packages. In order to make this schema capable to access those packages and functions, so I have to give DBA privileges to this user. Again I have to connect sysdba and grant DBA to POS underscore online. Now it is capable of connecting using resources, so using different packages of systems. So now it is capable of doing a lot of things. Okay, now if we connect this user, connect POS underscore online slash POS underscore online is the password. So if I select table, there is no table, there is no element, so there is no objects. So if let me connect Kate, there is no objects. I can let me create a simple sequence, tables, for example, a single table. What table should I create first of all? Because we are going to develop a point of sale application, I have to create this table, companies tables, because those tables which have primary keys, we have to create those. Then after that we will create foreign keys tables, which those tables which have foreign keys. Companies, company ID, company name. So let me create that one. Company company ID, number, primary key. Here we can give primary key here, and then after that we can give primary key, or let me give later on primary key in order to understand what is constraint. Company name varchar. The first table is created in this schema or in this user. Now the company underscore ID is not the primary key, so how to make it as a primary key? So we use constraint. Constraint, it is a rule and regulations. Let me define here. Create username, identity by user password. So how to define constraints? Alter table. What type? In which table we are going to make a constraint? Company and add constraint. What is the name of the constraint? Company underscore pk, because primary key we are going to develop primary key constraint, and company underscore ID. This is the query of making constraint. Alter table, which table? Company, and add constraint and constraint name, and then after that constraint, what type of constraint? Primary key, unique key, foreign key, what? So let me do it here. Alter table, company, sorry, ये था डायलॉग बंद का. Company table, company add constraint, company underscore pk means primary key and primary key. The constraint is being created, means the table is altered. If I select static from Kate, so company table, we have one table. Step by step we will create a lot of tables, a lot of required tables. These tables, constraints, sequences, triggers we will create step by step. Okay, let's come to the Oracle Apex. In order to develop application and assign this schema to this our applications. How to assign schema to Oracle Apex Workspace. When we assign schema to workspace, then after that we develop application, create application and assign that schema that is in which we are going to develop application. For example, here I have created POS underscore online application set simple schema, simple name of schema, and then I assign schema to Oracle Workspace in that workspace categories. Sorry, in that schema list I will select POS underscore online for my point of sale applications. Let me. So in order to assign schema, we have to enter. We have to log into the internal workspace. one workspace that we have created, we are creating, and one workspace which is internally, which is by default comes from Oracle site or Oracle Apex site. So this is the how to assign. Let's come to the manage workspace, and here we have manage workspace to schema assignment. Add schema because I want to create, I want add schema because I exist in schema. If we create new schemas, we can create new schema. From here we can create schema, that same things that we did here, like we created POS underscore line. From here we can create, but I have already created schema, so I want to use to which workspace, in the G Workspace, and next schema. A lot of schemas will be here. POS underscore online. This schema I'm going to add. The schema is added. Now close to the sign out this internal workspace. A lot of schema I have added. Najib, and this, after that we have to log into the Najib workspace. In Najib workspace we can assign multiple schema, we can assign multiple users. Let me create applications. Create POS project. This is a simple name, for example, POS project. We can rename, we can remove this name, and we can rename this application later on. So we will show you different ways to rename this application, but for current it is POS projects. And if we select all these, so it will be good. So I do not select this anyone. Here application ID 112 and schema, which scheme you are going to add to. Because I am going to develop a PO point of sale, I want to add POS underscore online, because that I have created before. A lot of schemas are displayed here because I have added this schema to my workspace, and I can use to any applications that I want if I wish to use. But for now I want to create point of sale because POS2, POS3, because I have already created some application point of sales. For now I have created point of, and Oracle side, Oracle Express. Later on we will discuss later authentications, you will understand that. Create application is created, we can run here. There is no report, there is nothing. We will create step by step. Okay, we have to come to SQL workshop and object browsers, and not POS underscore online that we have created. There is only one table because we have created from here, and we can assign that we assign that schema, this schema, to the workspace, and in application we can use this. That constraint that we have created, constraint, let me show that constraint, which constraint and what is the name of that constraint, so we can easily see that constraint here, from here, like company underscore pk, because I've already created. From here we can create drop, enable, disable constraint, and from SQL workshop, SQL plus, we can create and we can alter any table, schemas, any database objects. Okay. I hope you understand the first lecture, and this was the first lecture, and inshallah we will carry on step by step. Tomorrow we are going to develop more tables. Let me show you sales tables, customer supplier table, customer tables. That step by step we'll make reports, we'll make triggers imported. We can create triggers here, we can create triggers from here. So from any environment we can create, but this is a visual platform that you can create, and this is the developer side, means command line platform. So you have to create your own query, and you will execute that query, and that all the things that you have created, you can access from here. Sorry, this is all about the first lecture. I hope you understand. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you so much.